was like always first one to join.
I know.
You don't know how to work with damn technology. If it's
I
if it's not her, it's you.
Oh, hell no. I know how to run my social media accounts, ho. I'm so tired.
Hello.
There she go.
It's about time.
For some reason, when I go to the link, it takes me to like my regular recording page the first time I do it, and then when I exit and then go back, then it takes me to the recording.
Yeah,
Very strange.
it does that to me too.
That's basically saying she's just faster at figuring it out.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome back to episode 5 of It's an Okay podcast.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Today we are talking about good old concert culture. We're going to talk about favorite concerts, least favorite concerts, concert regret, all of it. We're going to talk about even, Astro World. Ooh, that's where the sound effect would go. Yeah. So, do we want to do a recap? How was everybody's weekend?
My weekend's been good. I don't know. Oh, I went to a friend's birthday party yesterday, and there were fireworks.
I did see that on your story. It looked fun.
Yeah, it's always a good time. And I did axes.
You did what? Oh, you did your taxes. Oof.
No. I threw axes.
I thought you said you did your taxes, girl. It depressed me for 2 seconds. I was like, oh, gotta go.
No.
Threw axes. That's awesome. Did you hit the
I did. My last throw of the night, I was like, do you mind if I just try it? Because he was packing up. Like, do you mind if I just try it a couple more times? He was like, sure, that's fine. And so I went and I threw it 3 times. And on the third or fourth time, I got the bullseye. And I got this little button. So it was good.
Oh, there's a button. I've never done axe throwing. Honestly, there's something about it that just, I don't know. I feel like I would just mess it up, and I see a bad outcome when I think of myself axe throwing. I just don't want to do it.
I want to encourage you, but I also want to hold space for the fact that you know yourself. So if you say it's not a good idea, I trust that.
It's probably not. One day, if no one else is in there, but then I'm like, no, I see myself hurting myself more than anything. So
yeah, I've had it ricochet back one time.
Yeah.
Gosh, what were y'all doing?
Girl, I threw it.
She's strong.
Yeah, she is extra strong.
I'm
not nervous.
What did you do, Beth?
So it was my coworker's official last day on Friday. And so we decided to go out to dinner. So it was our boss and then all of us together. And then I came home because I was just yeah, the energy's off. So I would like to go home.
Yeah.
I hate it here.
I want to go home.
Mom, will you come get me?
I'm scared.
Literally. If there's anything about me, as soon as the energy's off, got a blast.
Oh, you don't got to worry about me.
You don't got to worry about
Is that it? Is that all you did?
Yeah. But now I'm well, my nail kit came in, so I've just been playing around with the nails. I'm pretty sure I've stripped the I don't even know what it's called. I was about to say the
enamel. Is that not right? Do you not have enamel in your fingers?
Probably. I'm pretty sure I stripped the daggone enamel off my nails. I've literally done 4 sets of nails.
Please be careful. Maybe one of those fake hands.
Yeah. Should invest in getting her a fake hand because it's not looking too good for her nail beds if she's done 4 of them today.
They're pleading with you right now.
That's why at one point I was like, ooh, that's hot.
Oh no. Your cuticles are probably hollering. Oh, God. Your poor cuticles.
What about you, Lauren?
I had a show this weekend, so I did my show and then I had practice for this other show. Lots of music, lots of live music. I stuck around from after my show. Turns out I was playing with my coworker. I didn't realize that after work the other day, he was like, hey, I think we're playing a show together. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So that was nice. I was very nervous to the show because it was mostly covers. And I was like, crap, I cannot remember these lyrics for the life of me. I just had so much stuff that I've been doing this week, getting prepared for this other show and working that I'm like, I don't know. I just felt really nervous. So I had a cheat sheet with me. I still messed up a lot of the lyrics, but people were very nice. And my friend showed up, so that was nice. And then I went out with one of my band members, and we were out till 2. And then we woke up today and practiced. And that's pretty much been my week. It was a very nice week. Nice. My favorite kind of weeks are the ones that are filled with like beer and live music. So
very cool.
Yep. So let's open up our topic for today of concert culture.
Speaking of live music.
No, seriously, speaking of live music, I love concerts. Like I love live music. It's my shtick. I'm so obsessed with it. When I was younger, I used to like have in my journal, like in my diary, I would write down every single concert I had ever been to. Like every time I go to a concert, I'd write it down. And then I like rate how the concert was next to it. I feel like that's so odd, but like that's how much I love concerts.
On like a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, literally it's like a star next to this one. This one was okay. Like,
aww.
No, I love concerts so much.
My first concert was with you.
It was. Oh my God. Yeah, we should say our first concert.
Okay. What was your first concert, Beth?
The Jonas Brothers.
Which tour?
I don't freaking know.
Oh, whoa. Disrespectful. The Burning Up tour. You have a t-shirt. You never wear it. I still wear mine. I definitely still wear it. It was in 2008. I still wear mine. Virginia Beach Amphitheater.
I just remember going to it and being like, this is so dumb. Like, I hate this. And then the Jonas Brothers came out and I was like,
screaming her head off. It was so, I remember looking at her like, okay. Because she literally was like, this is lame. The Jonas Brothers are lame. This is so elementary. I'm Beth. I'm older than you, and you're young, and you're an immature bitch. Them Jonas Brothers hit the stage, and she was a little kid, just like me.
Well, it's because the energy and like at a concert is just like electric. You know,
It's
and what is it? Infective, viral,
infectious.
Yeah. I can only think of medical terms. It's got a heavy viral load. It's infectious. What about you, Corinne? What was your first concert?
It was the Jonas Brothers with Elizabeth, and it was the Jonas Brothers on the Burning Up tour. Demi Lovato opened for them. That was my first time seeing Demi. I know.
Are your favorite peeps?
I know. Okay. It was really like the best first concert, honestly. And the Burning Up tour was like such a good concert. Alison Stoner opened up for them as well, but
she's singing or dancing?
Singing and dancing. She had this song called History. It's like, if you gotta win, it was a good song. But we missed it because Mom made us show up late, so it's okay. She didn't make us, but we just happened to show up late. Those lines when you're going to the Virginia Beach Amphitheater, which is not called the Virginia Beach Amphitheater anymore. I don't know what it's called. They change the name every other year. Mm-hmm. But those lines when you're going to that concert, especially like something like the Jonas Brothers, I'm packed out. Like packed to the
like
brim.
The lines when you're still in the car, like just getting on the interstate.
Yeah. Intense. So yeah, we didn't get there until a little bit later, but it's all good. I got to see, Demi and the Jonas Brothers, and yeah, it was a really good concert. What was your first concert, Samalia?
My first concert was Coheed and Cambria.
Love that.
And that's when they were touring for And Keeping Secrets in Silent Earth, and that's one of my favorite albums from them. So I went with this girl it was at the Norva. Mm-hmm. I went with this girl from college who I don't know that she was familiar with Coheed and Cambria. I don't really know that she knew what she was getting into because their music is very intense. It's like kind of like melodic, but also metal kind of rock.
Yeah.
And I just don't think she knew what she was getting into. So we weren't able to like finish. We didn't stay till the end because
no.
Yeah. Well, no, we didn't need to stay, right? Like this guy was like, "Oh, I have a really cool knife," and
and you know what? You ain't got to worry about me.
You got to worry about me. And I don't know what my favorite concert. I loved Coheed. I don't know. I just love any opportunity I have to kind of like be amongst live music and just kind of sing to the top of your lungs and like be amongst other people who are also singing to the top of their lungs. Oh, maybe I went to see Ryan Leslie and I really love Ryan Leslie. Like, he's kind of like, the feelings I have for him are very similar to the feelings I have for Craig David, where like I just know all the words.
Yeah.
So when I went to his show, that was like one of the shows that I went to where I knew all of the words to every song.
Yeah.
Beforehand, before I went, you know, like
you didn't have to learn anything.
I didn't have to learn anything. I knew everything.
Yeah.
And then I really wish I would have I had tickets to, or a friend was going to give me tickets to watch The Throne in grad school.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't go, but I really wish I would have gone because I love that album.
Yeah, that is such a good album.
Yeah.
I can't think of what my favorite concert is. I'll let Beth go because I feel like I have so many. I'm like, let me narrow it down.
I don't have a favorite concert. I genuinely I'm a weird person. I've like acquired tickets to Something in the Water. Same. I've seen some artists, but I'm just like, it's not the first thing that I would go to. I think if I had an artist that I would pick to go to their concert, because I already get to go to my sister's concerts. If I had to pick an artist, it would be St. John.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I think that his concert, and
I feel like that'd be so lit.
It would be so lit. It would be on a level of 1,000, and I think that I would probably be like in the front row, like a Jonas Brothers kid again.
I love that. You need that energy.
Yeah, because I genuinely rock with his music on a whole different.
Do you have any concert regrets, Beth?
No, because I don't go to concerts.
Your regret is actually going to concerts you don't want to go to.
Yeah, like not even because like even the concerts that I don't want to go to. Like one year I went to I do have a concert regret because as a kid I remember I used to go to country concerts all the time.
I knew you were gonna say this one. I was hoping you would. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So I used to go to country concerts all the time, and like when I was a kid, like obviously I would ignore whatever was going around me because I didn't really care. But like recently, I think it was like a few years ago, I decided to go to I think it was Tim McGraw again, because I would always go to Tim McGraw every summer.
Yeah.
And I went to Tim McGraw with some of my friends as an adult. And I was just like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
It's completely different. The vibe is off. I feel like I'm a pepper flake in a sea of salt.
Yeah.
I'm just not vibing with this. This is not my vibe.
Yeah.
And the energy is just not where it needs to be. So with that, I'm gonna have to I paid money for this ticket, but I'm gonna have to go home.
Yeah.
That's fair. You always have to listen to your body. Like I think, like if you're like something's off, I feel like because concerts and festivals can go awry very quickly, I feel like it's almost like, okay, with tsunamis, how the animals run away from start running away from the coastline because they can sense it.
Mm-hmm.
They can sense something bad is about to happen. I feel like if you're attuned with your body enough, if your body is feeling off and you're like, something is not right where I am right now, I think you should absolutely leave because, I don't know if you guys are ready to talk about Astro World, but like, I wonder like if the people in the crowd had that feeling of like, there's too many people here. There's too, like how it's out. Like,
well, yeah, we can talk about Astro World after I say my favorite concert and concert regrets.
Yeah.
So my favorite concert, narrowing it down, is I really enjoy when I saw the New Respects in DC. I went and saw them by myself. Yeah. I love going to concerts by myself. So like that was one of the ones where I actually really felt safe to go somewhere by myself. Yeah. Like sometimes I go to concerts by myself and I'm like a little underwhelmed just because like I like to do it because I don't like to depend on other people. Yeah. But it's fun to go with your friends. It's better to go with like your friends, but I don't let not having people to go with stop me. So I really love the New Respects. I saw the Aces open for 5 Seconds of Summer in 2018 for the Meet You There tour. That was a really, really, really good tour. And then I think a lot of my favorite, I also saw Meh with like a bunch of friends. That was in Cashmere Cat. That was like a dream of mine to see them both, and I got to see them together. Mm-hmm. Okay. Last two more. Fifth Harmony with JoJo and Victoria Monet. That was such a good concert. And then Fifth Harmony with Demi Lovato and Little Mix. That was also a really good concert. And then Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo. I've been to, Corinne.
How many concerts? I like over maybe 100. I've been to so many. I love live music so much. Like I'll never pass up to see live music. Are you including
your own shows in that?
No.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I love live. I really, really do. I don't. Yeah. And then my biggest concert regret is I was supposed to see Young M.A. right before the pandemic. It was her birthday show at the Norva. It was going to be so many women-loving women of color in that. Ooh, I'm standing up right now because I'm so hot.
Not you standing up.
I was so mad. I was so looking forward to that concert, and it got canceled because of the pandemic.
Okay.
And I didn't get to see her. I didn't even get reimbursed for my ticket neither.
Oh.
That's okay, because it went to her, and it was for her birthday show, so I'll see Young and May one of these days.
One day.
Yeah. But yeah, so Astroworld.
I think that a lot of those people, I was really in tune in that. I was really like every day looking at a video I could find that they were uploading.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people that before, sorry, your girl has barely slept. There was a lot of people that in the videos you could see them being pulled out, being like, no, in the barricades. Like when the back started pressing in, even before he came out with Drake, they were like, and being pulled out into like the medical center aisles.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably one of my worst nightmares. Like I've watched documentaries on crush injuries, and like they happen a lot, more than I think we realize. But I mean, crush injuries are what happens when you're in a stampede or like something like it. And like, that is probably one of my worst fears, or like that gives me a lot of anxiety when I go to shows or go anywhere where there's a lot of people. Is like, I'm always looking like, how do I get out of here? So I cannot even imagine, like, when you look at the videos from Astroworld and you like see like, they're like, you read the accounts and you see, you know, the footage of just the whole floor basically swaying, and then you hear people's accounts that like there are people underneath them, and it's just it's overwhelming.
Yeah, as somebody who goes to like festivals regularly, I don't know, it's just so like I know that people were jumping the gate, right? So like Bonnaroo, for instance, is a really, really like lockdown secure. Like they don't, if you don't have a ticket, they really won't let you in. Like they're really just like really, really making sure. And that's not to say that like people can't bum rush something, right? Like I'm not saying that Astroworld was not, but it wasn't. And it's lack of like
Respect.
secure. Well, yeah, it's but I feel like that's kind of the Astroworld culture, is to be a rebel and be this like, you know, rock on, we do what we want, you know. That's like, that's kind of the culture of like
that particular festival, not all festivals,
right?
Okay.
And so I feel like that happened because they were way over capacity.
Yeah,
they were like really, really way over, because people were bum rushing. So the biggest thing is that they were like really, really over capacity. And I feel like that's why it turned out as bad as it did, is because they weren't regulating how many people were in there. And then once they knew that there were people in there over capacity, like instead of, you know, holding off the concert for 30 more minutes and going through and just, you know, getting random people and seeing if they had a wristband and just scanning, like they just kind of let it go. And I work security at festivals, so I get how if those security people are people like me, they're just everyday people who are like, who needed money and like wanted to see a festival, and you're thinking your only job there is to scan wristbands and a crowd is like stampeding you to get in. I can't say that I would try to stop people neither. Like, because people do not listen at festivals. Like I had
because of drugs, or just because the energy, or a combination of both, or something.
Definitely a combination of both. Because they feel at a festival, you feel so free. You're like, if you really love live music, it's really one of the best places you could be.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like camping out, you know, it's like camp with live music. It's like drugs. So you're like, I'm with my friends, I'm free, I do what I want, like, and it's just not like you still have to respect other people. You still have to.
That's why I don't think that I could do like concert culture, because I would be like, listen here, this is Woodstock. You need to go back.
Not Woodstock. Not Woodstock. That's the last festival Beth ever heard of, was Woodstock.
In the 60s.
I'm so weak. Not Woodstock.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what could, like, I don't know. It's really tragic, but what can you do if you're not really a trained security. You thought you were just going to be scanning wristbands and people are bum rushing you. What can you do? Besides tell the officials, and then it's up to them to do something, but the officials didn't do anything.
Do you think that, you know how like, you know, people are like pushing for Travis Scott to be held like responsible for that? Do you think the responsibility lies on the artist?
No. And I will tell you why.
Okay.
So I literally was going through and watching all of those videos. Like I said, I was like on TikTok for days, like deep in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Every day it was something different. I was like calling her and be like, oh my God, and guess what else I found out?
Yeah.
When you're honest, like I made a post on Facebook about it, and I'm like, aren't y'all the same people that locked your legs in a class presentation and passed out because 30 people were looking at you, but you expect Travis Scott?
Whoa.
She came out.
Whoa.
You get what I'm saying? But Travis Scott has, 50,000 people, and he's supposed to be able to say, oh, that guy back there in the way back. That man could not see everyone. The ones that he could see, he stopped the show for. But you also, the thing that people are so far removed from, when you're not in the music industry, you know nothing about what you're talking about. Yes, some artists do stop their shows completely because maybe they don't have it written in the clause that if they stop, that they have to pay back the money.
But why is money more important than human life? You know what I mean? He has enough money, and his baby mama definitely has enough money.
But that's the thing. Who's to say? How do you know he has enough money?
He does.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I don't ever, if I was to be famous, don't clock my bag, because you don't know what my money is going to. You don't know what, if I actually have the money, you don't know what kind of deal I've signed or if I'm getting paid. Like, people can make themselves appear wealthier than actually what they are, which is why Kanye West, bitch ass, literally declared bankruptcy I don't know how many times.
But he's not broke. His business was broke.
I'm not broke, but let me go on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, Donald Trump's not broke, but he declared.
I feel like if you have to, which is like a whole different level of fraud, but if you have to like live below your, like, the problem is, the only time I'm clocking someone's bag or pocket watching is when it's at the expense of a human life. I don't care about Travis Scott. I don't care about Travis Scott's money. I don't care about his baby mama's money. I don't care about any of that. But I don't think that how much money you make or whatever is ever going to, you cannot put on a human life. I don't think it's ever going to be exchangeable.
What happened? And if the fault, to be perfectly honest, started at the breach of the entry. That right there was on the venue. Then not only that, the concert goers, there is etiquette at concerts. And although you came to rage, but like, I also didn't come here to hurt people.
Right. And I'm not saying that the fault is solely on Travis, but he does have some fault in it. He's not absolved from it.
He's not absolved, but I'm also like, he's not the first person I would be going after. I would definitely be going after the venue, because the venue is in charge of hiring security. The venue had 100 security personnel to 50,000 people. And then not only that, you only had a few medics to 50,000 people. That was poor planning. That was poor planning. And to scapegoat the artist, to be like, well, you should have stopped the show. And it's like, wait, hold up. You should have stopped them from breaching the arena. That's what really should have happened. Let's start where the problem first arose. The problem is that you allow too many people in your venue, which is why fire marshals have capacity laws.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's like plenty of blame to go around, because like, I think from the stage, if you see, I don't know what it's like to stand in front of 50,000 people. Like, if you actually have visibility, I know that in an auditorium of 800 people, like when I sing, that it's hard to see the people in the back because the lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the lights are like in my eyes, or if I'm in the lights, I can't really tell what's happening in the back. If there was a big commotion, like maybe it would impact the people in the front seats as well, and then I would be able to see that something was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But that's 800 people, not 50,000, so I don't know, like, I wonder if he even, and then when you're singing, like, half the time I'm singing, my eyes are closed anyways. So, like, not saying that he was doing, but I think it's really hard when you're singing, or rapping or whatever, performing, you're in a different headspace. So like, if you see something, obviously you should say something like, what's going on? Like,
Right.
hey, if there's an issue, like, absolutely. But I don't know if that was actually realistic, like based on their, like, what the actual numbers were. But then I think like the venue is just, it depends on how they do their stuff, right? So like I work at a wedding venue, like sometimes on the weekends, and because I love, but like the wedding venue I work at is like a full service venue, and that they do everything top to bottom, soup to nuts, it's everything. But there are other wedding venues that are just like, you can rent space, and and they are like, you're responsible for what happens. We are basically opening the doors and turning the lights on for you, and you figure it out.
That's what we have.
Say it again, Beth.
Sorry that someone called my phone and cut me off this thing. That's what we have at my community. Like when they rent out the rooftop, they're like, you guys provide us security. I'm like, no, it says here in the contract, you are responsible for your own security at this. So, but whatever happens, if we have to call law enforcement, you forfeit anything coming back to you, any kind of deposit.
Right. So I think it just depends on how that was how Astroworld's structured. I'm sure that it's not just the artists, it's the city involved as well. It's, there are so many levels that like people were failed at, the people were failed, the security, or the people who were working security who weren't actually security. That was a failure of the people who hired them, because like, you didn't adequately prepare us for what we were going into. The venue, if they are the concert promoters, they had a responsibility, if they're the ones selling tickets, to make sure that there's appropriate security there for the people, the number of tickets they're selling. But it was just it's all around tragedy, and just my heart, I can't, like, there some really young kids that Beth, some really young kids there that lost their lives. So I think that's the saddest part about
it. The youngest was a 9-year-old.
It's crazy. That's 2 years older than my son.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the only reason that he did was because his father passed out from lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
And nobody thought, like, what I'm like more so like irritated about is like nobody thought to pick the kid up.
Yeah. When people go into panic mode, they like physiologically they like bypass their prefrontal cortex. So like the decision making portion of their brain, they bypass, and they're in their lizard brain, so they're only thinking about survival. So it's very easy. That's how crush injuries happen, because people are so panicked, they're not thinking about other people.
Yeah. They clearly were not thinking about other people when they bum rushed that thing just to get into that concert.
Do you guys know what the current situation is with that, or did the Kardashians just like bury it?
Kim Kardashian buried it with her Pete Davidson.
Okay. That's why they cued Kanye and his antics, and that's why I'm not talking about it anymore. Makes sense.
Basically. It's true, though. Yeah, I think there's definitely concert etiquette, and it wasn't followed that day by, the concert goers, the concert.
So wait, is that considered a concert or a festival?
I'm sorry, festival culture. Same thing. It's all live music. But yeah, that is a festival. That's considered a festival because there's multiple artists in the lineup. So yeah,
concerts have multiple artists, right?
They usually have like 3 artists,
okay.
And it's usually concentrated around one person. Whereas like a festival has multiple stages, and it has like maybe 7 artists on each stage.
Okay.
Or like obviously it could be more than that, but I think a good festival at the same time, probably in a day, would have about 7 artists on that stage a day, depending on the stage. Like Bonnaroo literally has like 8 different stages, and there's an artist on each stage throughout the day.
Outdoor festival, and
it is, yeah.
It was like an indoor festival.
That was an outdoor festival.
For real?
Yeah, it just had like an awning.
Dang, so many people.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And I feel like that's the only reason why it was able to be that many people, is because it was outdoor.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I went to Firefly once. That was fun.
That does sound fun. I've never been to Firefly, but I know a few people have gone and they really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's because it's like, I mean, the type of music. Last year, I think they had Tame Impala there, and
So
like,
good.
yeah, Tame Impala, and like during the summertime with or like fall,
Mm-hmm.
the open air with the sky, like the stars. It's perfect because his music is very, you know, like
Vibey.
yes,
Yeah, I do love Tame Impala. I'm seeing them next week. That I spoiled it for my looking forward to concert, but I'm just gonna repeat it again because I'm that excited. I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be such a good concert. But yeah, I think even more on concert culture, like or concert culture and like festival culture. I do think that when people get to concerts, they do lack a little bit of respect, and I don't know what it is. Like I am someone who pushes to the front, right? I can name so many concerts where like I don't push to the front. I navigate my way. I find open pockets and I navigate my way to the front. If I don't show up early to stand in the front.
yeah.
And I don't always need to stand in the front. Like I don't need to be like barricade, right? But I do like to be a little bit up because I am a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So I like to be kind of central to where I'm at. And like sometimes I'll go to concerts and like I remember one time I went to a concert and I was like, my friend was already up at the front. I had to work that day. My friend did not have to work. So she was already up at the front. And I remember going to the crowd and I was like, hey, my friend's right there. Can I just get to my friend? And they would not move. And I was like, I could just go around you. They would not move. They would not let me go around them. Like I can understand someone not wanting me to go in between them because they don't want to be separated from their friend, but they wouldn't even like move to let me go around them. So I was like trying to squeeze around them to the point where it's like I had to squeeze so hard, like I end up like hitting, like not hitting them, but like our bodies jerked into each other, and it was just so awkward because I don't like when people do that to me. I don't like when people like push through me. But I'm like, I was not trying to push through you. That's like the last thing I want to do. But I did. I think it's different. Like if you push through me without saying excuse me. But if you're like, hey, I just need to get around you, or like at least tap me and let me know like you're trying to come around me. And like sometimes there just isn't enough space.
Yeah.
Because there just isn't. But like those people weren't making space. But sometimes there just isn't enough space because there isn't. And like people do have to kind of like pull through you, and like your bodies will touch and your bodies probably will like there will be impact on your bodies.
Yeah.
And so I don't like that. Like I don't like when people are rude and like don't say excuse me or like tap you. That makes me so mad. And it also makes me really mad when you're like my friend's right there. Like I get it, but my friend is right there. It's not like me and my friends are trying to push through you at this moment. Right. Which I've done that too. And it was, I am not the kind of person who like, I'm not good at confrontation. So if I like we pushed to the front at the like last concert we went to. And I remember like me and Samilia had enough room to be at the front, but like the other two people who were with us did not have enough room, but I still like pulled them up with us because I was like, well, you came with us. Yeah. And I remember we were kind of like packed in and there's a dude next to us and he like refused to scoot over. And I remember being like, sorry, like, sorry, like, sorry, I'm so sorry. Like, I just felt so uncomfortable because I don't want to be that person who doesn't care, but I also I'm like,
you want to have a good time with your friends, so you want to be able to be in
scoochie, sir. Scooch over just a little. I mean, eventually he had to because we were really close to each other. And then I remember like there were these two girls behind us. I remember I'm just like sometimes I'm so self-conscious at concerts because I really do lose my mind. I really do lose my mind, and so I'm like, if I hit anybody in my like craziness, I'm really sorry. Like. I try to be as respectful as possible. Like I try to understand that it's still a concert and people are still going to want to push through. But I also try to be like, it's hard because when you're on the opposite side, you're like, I'm not going to let you like push through and be taller than me and stand in front of me, which is something I would never do. Right. But it's like, I will kind of push through and we might be beside each other and like, you might have to make a little room.
Oh my God.
But
do you remember those ladies?
That is, yeah, you can tell the story.
I mean, you're probably going to be way more succinct than I will. But Beth, when we were at we went to the Aces concert. It was really, really good. Aces were the openers, Sawyer and
Beaches.
But there was this woman. There were these two women, and I don't know what they were doing, but they literally were like swaying so wide and like flailing their arms and like it was. And they're probably like mom's age, and I'm not an ageist at all, but I'm just like.
They were older and they knew better.
They knew better, yeah.
For sure. They definitely knew better. But they were hitting people
Yeah,
to the
they
point where security had to come take them out of the crowd.
No.
And then Beth, and then she came back.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine mom being removed from a concert? That would make
I couldn't. I really couldn't. It was just the fact that like they removed her and she came straight on back.
She did.
She like threw her drink on people. That's how much
Yeah.
she was flailing.
That's why That's why they got removed, because she threw a drink on someone.
Then she was bumping into people. She bumped into Samilia, and I remember I stood like in front of her, and I was like bumping to me next. Me next, because I'm cognizant. So you're
Not
bumping
me
into people.
next.
Yeah, because you're bumping into people who aren't paying attention. They don't realize that you're like, they're enjoying themselves, so they don't realize that you're being a bully. But I'm paying attention. So me next, girly. Bump into me next. Because you just ran through my sister, and I don't appreciate that.
It was a lot.
It was like, where was the peace, love, unity, and respect? You know?
The PLUR.
Where was the PLUR?
Do you think like PLUR? I don't know if I'm saying it right. Do you think the PLUR? Like, do you do the weed?
Not the weed.
It's like PLUR only for certain types of music. Like, is that like if you're going to like more like indie, then people are more into PLUR. But if you're like at like a rap concert, people aren't into PLUR, or like how like is it its own culture within itself?
I hear PLUR mostly at like an Electric Forest kind of concert. That's where I'm.
Is Electric Forest like
EDM?
Like rave, like electric, music,
like electric dance music,
the hula hoops and stuff,
and the like finger tutting and
what
finger tutting, you know, where they put the lights on their fingers and they like move their fingers around.
No,
they look like they're doing a Yu-Gi-Oh battle.
I'm gonna write that down. Finger tutting. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is, Beth?
I've never heard of that.
It's a whole thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look it up. It's actually really, really cool. Like if you're on, it's like usually for people who like do kind of like hallucinogens.
Okay.
And so you like put these lights on your hand and you move your hand in a way that it just like it creates this illusion in front of your eyes. It's actually really cool. But
is it like you're voguing but like with things on your fingers?
No, you're not moving your arms, you're simply moving your fingers.
Okay, finger tutting. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, no, it's you really wouldn't think it's a thing.
Watch me look it up and be like, I'm finger tutting.
Next time I see you, you'll be like, look at this, Corinne. start Yu-Gi-Oh dueling in front of us.
You find like a secret Instagram account. You're like,
I will literally disown you. And I'm kidding.
1,000 followers. Just
you finger tutting. You don't even have to like. It's just you just put your hands in the frame.
Okay, finger tutting.
Yeah,
but PLUR is more like in alignment with like EDM music.
Yeah, like rave culture.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you can apply that to any kind of thing, but I think it's all really mostly like a vibe. Like I just don't see the like indie crowd doing that as much as I see.
Drugs have more to do with that because they're like
no, because the indie kids are doing just as many drugs as the rave kids are.
Okay.
They're just doing different drugs. See, the indie kids are doing coke and smoking weed, whereas the rave kids are doing coke, smoking weed, doing shrooms, doing laughing gas, nitrous.
Girl, the stuff that I found out that these rave kids be doing, I'm like,
ecstasy. I mean, yeah,
they're like, I had the most amazing trip this week doing whippets. I'm like, what is wrong with
doing poppers?
Do you guys think they're gonna die?
Really intense drugs that it's like not really natural drugs.
Okay.
It's like you have to fill an air balloon
helium
and suck the drugs out of that's how you do nitrous. No, I'm not telling anyone to do nitrous, but don't do nitrous, kids. Don't do drugs, okay?
Drugs.
Don't do drugs, guys. I'm just saying,
need
like,
a DARE representative. As someone who's to the DARE program.
This is where the podcast cuts off and the commercial comes on, and it's like,
if you have a problem,
right? Exactly. Call the hotline.
Oh, God.
We are not encouraging anyone to try these things. We're just saying this is the culture of these festivals.
Do you think the festivals would be enjoyable without drugs?
Absolutely. if you went for the music.
Okay.
But I don't know. Like, I feel like to each their own. I'm not judging anyone who does it, but I do know that it's most definitely possible to enjoy a concert without doing any drugs, or especially a festival.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, there's so many artists at a festival where it's like, I don't know. That's exciting to me. At 3:00, I see Billie Eilish. Then I make my way over to this other stage at 5:00. I see Sheryl Crow, and then later on that night, Eminem comes on stage. Like, to me, that is exhilarating. I get to eat overpriced popcorn and buy $20 lemonades that don't have that much ice in them. You know?
Yeah.
You know where I messed up? You know where I gave myself karma is that the last concert that I went to was Something in the Water, or the festival I went to. And I was like, I am not paying for this overpriced food. So I went up to the doorman and I said, I have diabetes and I need to be able to bring my food in. And he was like, okay, you can bring it in. Then I get diagnosed with diabetes.
Oh, wow.
Mom told you, and the Bible tells you life and death is in the power of the tongue. You understand?
You know, when you were saying that just now, I was like, I didn't question it because I'm like, she does.
Yeah, you do have diabetes.
Didn't realize you didn't have it at that. Wow.
Didn't have it. Was
Not
literally
you manifesting diabetes for yourself.
Oh no.
And now when I go to concerts, I'm just not gonna be lying on nothing. I ain't gonna say shit just to get in.
Oh, God.
Oh no. Girl, you really manifested that for yourself.
You down bad, girl.
That's so crazy.
All bad.
Yeah.
Beth, I'm so glad your phone cut out. I'm so happy your phone cut out. So anyway, I didn't hear anything. The phone cut out on my end.
Okay.
Don't forget who uploads the podcast, ladies. I might just forget to upload the episode today.
Oh no.
Stop playing with
Our
me.
cable.
No.
It's broken. So did you guys have any other thoughts that you wanted to add before we talk about which concerts we're looking forward to, even though I already said mine?
No, I'm ready to talk about what I'm looking forward to.
Let's do it then. What concert are you looking forward to, Samilia, or festival or live music show?
I'm looking forward to the Corinne Grace performance on the 12th. Got my tickets and I'm very excited. Festival wise, I don't know. So Paramore was, like they were talking like Fire Festival #2. I don't know.
The emo Fire Festival.
Emo Fire Festival. But Paramore, I love Paramore. Like I love Hayley Williams. I just love. And I haven't seen her in concert. Haven't seen the band in concert. And so I would really, really love to see them. But I'm not. They're calling it Emo Fire Festival. I'm not really thinking that that's something that I want to do.
Right. Not sold on the idea.
Yeah, not sold on that idea. But I would love to see her and perform live, and Tame Impala, but in an open air venue space. So I don't know. I'll see. Firefly had a really good lineup last year, but I already had plans. So I'm hoping that they have just as strong of a lineup this year.
What about you, Bethy?
My vibe right now is just living life.
Oh, wait. Well, I already told you guys, I'm really looking forward to seeing Tame Impala. They're not going to be an open venue. It's going to be the Hampton Coliseum, which I have not been there since Beth's 8th birthday for the Ice Capades.
I feel like no one's been there in like 10 years. So
no, I love that I get to
I went there for the Millennium Tour.
Really?
Oh my gosh, you went to that?
Yeah.
Did you wear a jersey dress?
No, I couldn't get one in time. And like I couldn't find your one that you had in the closet. So I wore a crop top.
Because I took it back.
Yeah.
Because it's in my closet. Because it's mine.
Mine now.
But go ahead, sorry.
But
you wore a crop top?
It did what it had to.
That was not convincing at all.
I'm not convinced.
Like, you know how I am. Like, I'm just like, like I'm hyped in the moment, and then when I leave, I'm like, wow, I'll probably never do that again.
I feel that.
Fair.
I don't know if there's any other band that like not even necessarily looking forward to, but just like would love to see. Like I can't even think of anyone right now where I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never seen them and I would really, really love to. I'm sure I'll think of something later. But I'm also very excited for my show.
Yeah.
If you guys are listening to this, I am linking the link to buy the tickets in my story every single day. So if you decide that you want to see good music and a cute ass woman named Corinne Grace and take a picture and buy some merch and do the damn thing and support a young Black woman on her journey before she pop and never talk to y'all again. I'm playing. Buy tickets to the show. I would really, really love this. I honestly would really love the support because this show means a lot to me. So
yeah,
support your girls. Material world. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Wait, I asked you, Beth. Okay, cool. Yeah. This was a good, I loved concerts. I'm glad we got to have a whole episode dedicated to talking about concerts.
Yeah.
They're my pride and joy. Oh, wait. 2 more things. I thought of 2 concerts that were my favorite concerts. I had to say them because it would be so remiss for me to not talk about. Chance the Rapper and Jhené Aiko at the Ted Constant Center. I kept that ticket stub in the back of my phone case for like 3 years after that concert. And this was like when I first like was really, really obsessed with Chance the Rapper. So I'm so happy that I got to see him. And then Big Sean and J. Cole. J. Cole was really lit. It was for Forest Hill Drive. He like had this remodel of the cover on like a green screen, but it was like real.
Yeah.
So he was like actually sitting on it. But I went for Big Sean. Big Sean was opening for him. I went for Big Sean. He was touring the Dark Sky Paradise album, and no one else in the crowd was really there for Big Sean, except for like me and the person that I was hanging out with. And like, I remember looking at the voice recordings the next day and being like, oh my gosh, ew. Because I was just going, so I love Big Sean. I really love Big Sean. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I would love to see Big Sean again in his own concert, not opening for someone. And I would love to be closer because I was in the lawn. I had to add that in there. I couldn't forget my baby daddy.
Oh my gosh. On that note.
No, exactly. Honestly, I need to go lie down. I need a nap.
Go lay down.
Go lay down. Thanks guys for listening to another episode.
Yes.
Make sure you guys are following us on Make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. Make sure you're following us on wherever you listen to your podcast. Leave us some comments. Tell us what your favorite concert is. We're actually going to make graphics this week so that you guys can comment on what your favorite concert was. We're looking forward to hearing yours. All right, you guys.
Till next week.
Till next time.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Bye.
You're not